In 1940, the International Convention of Rotary was held in Havana, Cuba. At that convention, Rotarians adopted a resolution calling for respect for human rights. That was the first time those words, human rights, had entered into the international lexicon. And they became the basis for the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, signed in 1948, one of the world's most significant international treaties from the last century. In 1942, a number of Rotarians, senior Rotarians, met in London. They were concerned about the impact of the war on education, on scientific research, on cultural traditions and norms and monuments. They adopted a resolution which led to the formation of UNESCO. 2 years later, in 1944, when Prime Minister Churchill rather, and President Truman decided the time had come to form an organization which would forever outlaw war, Rotary was one of the first organizations invited to send lawyers and other representatives to work alongside the delegates from China, the Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, and the United States. And when the UN Charter was signed in San Francisco in 1945, 49 out of the 800 delegates were Rotarians. So we've had a very strong relationship with the United Nations right from the outset. The relationship continued into the 80s. In 1986, together with UNICEF, the World Health Organization, and the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, Rotary formed the Global Partnership for the Eradication of Polio. And subsequently, the Gates Foundation joined and other parties joined. So again, Rotary continued its relationship with the United Nations. Towards the end of the last century, Rotary decided to get even more deeply involved in peacekeeping efforts. They formed the Rotary Peace Center program. Rotary partnered with 6 universities around the world, each of which had a renowned reputation for their peace and conflict resolution curriculum. And through that program, which formerly the first cohort ended in 2002, we now have over 1,600 Rotary Peace Fellows around the world, working in all sorts of occupations and fields of study, academic, United Nations, World Bank, and field activities. And we're very proud of the Rotary Peace Center program. And many of the Rotary Peace Fellows were, in fact, Peace Corps volunteers. There's been an association with the Peace Corps for a long time. Rotary has formally entered into a partnership with the Peace Center, with the Peace Corps volunteer program. And we have other partnerships that are significant in the peace arena, including the Institute for Economics and Peace and Mediators Beyond Borders International. In 2010, we formed a Rotary Action Group for Peace. A few years later, we developed a new focus for the Rotary Foundation, and we developed 6 areas of focus, which included peace and conflict resolution. And that has become a core focus of Rotary's activities. Recently, we added environment, so we now have 7 areas of focus. So peace is very much in Rotary's DNA. We have peace conferences, we have peace symposia, we have a peace academy started with the help of the Institute for Economics and Peace. We have all sorts of peace initiatives around the world. Here in the United States, we have a Youth and Peace in Action program in the eastern side of the United States, bringing peace methodology and peace concepts to young people so that they can begin to get an understanding of the importance of peace and conflict resolution in society. So that's just a quick preview of Rotary's long association with peace. I think we make a significant contribution in many parts of the world through our global grants. Peace is an important part of our environment. It's an important focus of The other areas of focus, many of which are similar to those that Kim mentioned, of the Peace Corps volunteer program, our areas of focus and their areas of focus are somewhat similar to the Millennium Development Goals were first promulgated in 2000 and similar to the SDGs that came on board in 2015. So peace is a very significant part of Rotary's operations.